Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at Nvda, AMD, and Tesla on the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We're going to use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So let's get right into the daily chart on Nvda. And we did talk about this bullish pattern. It is setting up to go higher prices. We said, hey, if this thing doesn't start moving any day now or in the next week or so, there's a good possibility of this thing breaking down. And if this pattern fails, we could go down even further than it could, the possibility of going up. And today we got the downgrade, I believe it was, and here we go. So big support coming up at the 100 even number. You have this trend line too coming from back here. That's a pretty big area of support. And you could even stretch it back and go to this little pivot here if you wanted to, just connect all those. So we got that pivot right in here. And then also we have double bottom down here. If this one starts to break down and everyone just gives up, starts taking profits, this stock can easily come down to 81 and possibly fill this gap down here around 67.60. Okay, let me show you on the weekly now. Weekly chart. We have a slight head and shoulder pattern. You got the shoulder, right or left shoulder comes in. I would have liked it come down a little bit more. Not the best pattern, but not the worst. It's there. You got to show it just to say, hey, this is a possibility. The way you measure the head and shoulder, you take this head, go to the neckline, take that line, put it here, go to the neckline down in that area, and you're looking at a price target about 64 bucks if this plays out. Still early in the pattern, still testing this low down here. Got to crack through the neckline, double bottom. If it does that with some volume was pretty good today on the news, this could definitely come down here to 75 and possibly retest the 76.70 area. And then ultimately on the monthly, we talk about high flyers all the time. These are the ones you want to pick on right now when the markets are moving up. So if you want to go short, well, it's a little bit too late here, but you would have been shorting at 120 up in this area. And now it could go to 60 bucks. Wherever this 20 MA is, that's where usually the target is on these high flyers. But again, one step at a time. We need to get below this. Remember, it is stock of the year. You got 42 upgrades at the highs. Everybody loves Nvidia, so you might get buy the dippers coming in. When you get a sell-off like this on the 10-minute intraday, you'd expect someone to come in and do something. I mean, what a great fade on this all day long. So everyone's trying to buy the dip, and it just keeps going in their face because it's just everyone saying, you know what, I'm done. I'm taking my profits. Now all the late retail traders are coming to the party. Oh, it's at 100 bucks. This one's cheap. I got to get interested in. No, this one's cheap around 65 bucks, 70 bucks. Then maybe it's still an extension play on the monthly. This one comes in, guys, 61, and if it really came in, honestly, 35 bucks, who knows? You can laugh at me now, but if the markets come in, this is easily coming down to the $67, $70 area. So just beware of that. On the bullish case, if you get by the dips, you got to get back above the MAs here. You got to get back above this pivot. Now, this is big. Once this was nice consolidation that becomes resistance. You pop above that, you have a gap to fill, and then this 750 retrace. Then ultimately you get back to 120.92, but it's got to get above all this resistance first and go from there. But usually patterns like this, you start breaking down, you're going to start getting lower prices. So just tighten those stops up if you're long. And just breathe for a minute. I mean, this can easily pop up on buy the dip mentality. Oh my gosh, it's cheap. It's Nvidia. I got to get interested in this. But if this thing starts to dump, guys, it's going to dump out, and you have a gap fill right at 67.60 right there. And usually stocks like to fill gaps. You'll probably get a bounce here, though. You got the 200. You have the window. You have this, 75 in here. You might not make it down in this area, but you have a good support area here. We'll have to see if this thing falls right into it. If it goes 3-4 days right into this area, let's see if we could pierce it, and then we'll try to go long on this one too. Right now, though, looking a little ugly coming off this pattern. Needs to get back above if you're bullish. If you're bearish, enjoy the ride, for this one could get ugly really, really quick. Seen it before on these high flyers, and I'll see it again. AMD, on the other hand, you know what? Went for that big area. We talk about it, 1475, rejected again 2 days in a row, comes right back in, 48 cents down on the day, or 3.28%. If you cannot get above that area and fill this gap, let's open this up a little bit more, fill the gap right around 15 bucks. You know, still strong above the moving averages. You have to respect that, but you're down and sideways kind of channeling, just chopping around, up and down, building pressure. But this is slightly bearish, but still in a bullish stance above the MA. So it could go either way, but overall, this is what I'm looking at, guys. When you get a chart like this and you go straight up, I mean, you had some little pullbacks here and there, it's going to pull back. And when it does, this could easily be a $9.50 stock again, easily back to this pivot. So just be aware of that. Weekly chart, you still have support over here at 12 bucks. You still have the high pivot where it retraced, retested, and popped up. So that's going to be some support in there. And double bottom, of course, as well. See where it bounced off of here, double bottom. That was good support. But again, chopping around. This is slightly bullish, but you still have a lot of support or a lot of resistance coming up. If it does pop up, you're looking at 1622, double top 1555. But first, you got to get above this $14.75, $15 area. If you can't do that, it's going to take the path of least resistance, which will be down. And then looking over the monthly chart, another high flyer, guys. This is usually the target, the 20 MA. Let's start with this one here. You have a big gap fill at 1041. If this starts chugging along, you're looking at 941. If that breaks, honestly, we could go right into this area here, right around eight bucks. So just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Bull or bear, don't really care. Just be aware that it's a little bit stretched. Tighten the stops because this thing could easily come down. Market sell, it's going to be over, as well as all the other high flyers like the Amazons, the Googles, the Facebooks, the Apples. You know, everyone's a bull trader everyone's a trader in a bull market, guys. And when it turns south, everyone starts to panic. Then they go all in and buy the dip mentality. And then the next leg down. Because if this thing comes in, holds this area, people will start to buy around 1250 again. And all of a sudden it's 1033. And they're like, oh, I'm buying here. Then all of a sudden it's freaking 950. Oh my gosh, I'm buying here. And all of a sudden it's an $8 stock. And it's like, holy cow, what am I doing? Now I'm getting a margin call. Been there, guys. I was that trader. That's why I learned technicals, and that's why I'm following the charts. And if you take these positions on these, no more than 10% of your total portfolio. Right now, we are only going 5% at the most. And if we got to nibble a little bit more, we will. But we just inch in. If you're going to do a $20,000 position on AMD, you go 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. And if it starts to break down, you got to you got to get out. That's why a lot of these trades like Teslas, the CMGs, the Googles, the Apples, we have a wide stop because we don't have a huge position. It's pretty easy. And if they go up on us, we'll keep adding more. That's how we work it here. You know, just like this one, we should have wrote calls on Tesla today, but we didn't. We do have a short position, but it's a small position. This could go up another 30 bucks and we still won't have a 10% stop out. Doesn't matter. Let it go up. Goes up higher, I'll be adding more to my short. Don't really care, guys. Easy trades when you do strict money management, doesn't matter. Puts, calls, a lot different. You get this move up on Tesla and you're not selling your calls, you're an idiot. Put it that way. Let's go to the daily chart on Tesla, though. Again, had little bullish consolidation, stalled here, but look what they did. They popped it above the gap fill because they don't want to deal with it. They consolidated for 4 days. Someone knew something was up here. You couldn't tell me. No volume. Holding it up above resistance, and then all of a sudden they come out with news, I think on Sunday or whatever, and it's like, oh geez, here we go. Again, bulls, tighten these stops up. Please take some profits. I am shorting this. I don't care. My trade doesn't mean anything. It's a small trade. Even $100 million trade would mean nothing in Tesla at this point. Maybe $1 billion or two, maybe have some effect. These institutional players have huge amounts of money. My measly trade doesn't mean anything in these markets. But again, we shorted here, 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 and we started adding as it was coming back up. And again, if it goes up a little more, I'll add a little bit more, get my cost average down, and then hold, because this is another one that's extended, guys. It's not going to go up forever. Everyone thinks now, oh, it's different, it's Tesla. This is the time it breaks out. Yeah, it looks that way. On the weekly chart, I want to close up here. If it does not close up there, comes right back in, you're in trouble with this trade, guys, especially the longs. The shorts, enjoy the ride down. We'll be going back down to this pivot to 250 and fill the gap down here once again. If you are long, you need to continue up, close above the 300, and continue on good volume. Light volume isn't going to cut it for me on this. I would expect a chop now. You got 2 good volume days, good push up. Let's see it continue. They're getting all the retail traders on, because if you weren't interested in Tesla down here, oh my gosh, are you buying it up here? I was that trader, guys, chasing Apple all the time, chasing Baidu all the time, Amazon all the time. As soon as I got interested in it, they'd flush it down on me. I'd go all in, margin, the whole 9 yards. Not anymore. I learned in the last 9 years using technicals that, yeah, I'll get interested up here. Why wouldn't you on Tesla? Every time it's pulled up to the 300 area, it's pulled back. But this time it's different, correct, guys? Again, I don't care. I'm just trying to protect you guys. If you are long, please tighten the stop up. That's all I'm saying. You could wake up with some horrible news or the market's tanking, and if the markets sell, the SPY, which I know it's a tall task, we only had 56 million on a day, these are going to tank. Believe me. And then you'll be like, oh man, the shorts are killing it. No, the shorts aren't killing it. It's the institutional buyers squeezing it up, getting everybody hot on the stock. And this is when all the retraders go to the party, and they're always the last one to the party, guys. It's done it numerous times. This is no time it's different. Again, weekly chart needs to close above the 300 area. This thing starts to slide. Look out for some lower prices. I went to the monthly. I wanted to show you one more thing on the monthly here. Sorry for clicking back. The 20 MA is at 227. Not that it's going to fall, but that could be a good target for this one if this one starts moving down. So just be careful. That's all I'm saying, guys. I don't care if you're long or short. I'm short. Big deal. Hopefully it pulls back. If anything, I'll write some calls up here. Maybe 5 or 6, maybe 10 calls. Maybe just 1 or 2 at first. If it goes up, I'll add 2 more. If it goes up again, I'll add 2 more. No big deal. Just want to get a good cost average and buy myself some time. So I'll probably be looking at May's, May 19th, I think they are. I'll have to see the price on them. But again, if this thing pops up tomorrow, I'll probably write some calls on this, start with a small position. We did write some calls on Amazon too today. 7 days up, you got to do something with Amazon too. All right, guys, if you like my videos, go to my website, sign up for StockBookie.com. It's a free membership. You get more videos like this. You'll get trading alerts. You'll get email alerts when we go do our live sessions, when we post our videos, trades, stuff like that. The trades we're still working on. It's still hard. I'm trying to get something where I post something and it automatically sends something to you guys. But again, I am short these markets, and that's how I'm sticking to it, guys. I'm going to open up the SPX one more time before I take off. If you look at the SPX, the reason why I'm shorting these high flyers, guys, you do not have a move like this. Housing or .com crash, housing crash, it's coming, guys. I'm just getting prepared. We are short across the board on a lot of these high flyers, and when this one comes in, they're all going to come in. Just like when we were short before the crash in 2015 when we were 1,000 points down, we were short, heavy, across the board in tons of high flyers, indexes, and we caught that. When it went down, we caught the bounce up. And when it went down again, we caught it again, guys. This was our trades. We were short here for about 3 months. We got that, caught the bottom, these lower pivots. We took it long, went right back into our trend line. We took a short again, and we took it long again. We were out long. I wish we would have held, but we didn't. As it was starting to get up into this area, we're starting to add shorts again. That's just how we roll here. We will be long. We will have our bull costume on eventually. At this point, we have our bear costume on, and that's how we're playing these stocks, especially when we're extended this much. So that's what we're doing here at StockBookie.com. You have to have the right size positions, money management, try to find the good levels with support and resistance, and take the trade, and let's do it, guys. All right, thanks again for following my my stock twits, my StockBookie.com site. Sign up, guys. It's free. You have nothing to lose. We've been posting trades on there, and just waiting for this thing to come in. If this does come in, we'll start making some money again. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. God bless. See you on the charts.